Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about honoring your inner season. So, what does this mean? We have seasons in the year. Most people know them: winter, spring, summer, fall. You might live somewhere where there's very distinct seasons, or you might live somewhere where they're a little more subtle. But we do cycle through. We know that. But there are all kinds of other seasons that we as an individual will go through in the course of a day, where we are in our life cycles, also creative cycles. And so it's really important that we start to understand how cycles can show up and how we can honor them so that we start living in alignment with what's being called forth in us, as opposed to fighting it or pushing against something that's natural, or maybe bullying ourselves, or overriding our intuitive inner sense to get things done, or operate in a way that the world is presenting to us. So right now I'm in winter. I live in Canada. We just had a 4-day snowstorm. We have a lot of snow here, but I was in Australia just a few weeks ago, and Australia is in the height of summer. So very big contrast for me. In Australia, there was a lot of energy, people were out, and that was actually in alignment for me. I was visiting a lot of friends. It was beautiful. It was heart energy, which is, we say the heart is associated with summer or fire in Eastern medicine. And then coming back to Canada, we have all this winter. But was interesting, I still had that heart energy as I was out shoveling for like hours every day to get through some of the snow. I was engaging with the other people around me in my neighborhood, the people as they were going for walks or sledding with their kids. And I just had very much that connecting energy. So there was a bit of summer energy still alive in me. But I remember last summer, when it was summer hot, people were out. I had a very internal energy, very inward. I didn't want to be out. I often stayed in and read my book inside, or I'd be in my backyard. I didn't feel like engaging with people. I was going through something internally where I was needing to be more introspective. So that's just one example. So just we have a culture that likes to live in spring and summer all the time. We're a bit obsessed with it, like getting things done, being productive out there, social calendars, their fed schedules, when we wake up, when we go to sleep, what we consume, often are related to that summer energy. Raw foods, salads, that can be part of it, or getting tropical fruits any time of the year, just from a very food perspective, but also just filling ourselves with uh, programming, going out, social calendars are full. And if you're in an internal winter, even if it's summer out, that can be exhausting. And we have to remember each cycle or each season has a reason, a perspective, a gift that it has. Spring is a spark of an idea. It's when something happens. It's like new life is starting that grows through summer, so that we start in a creative cycle. It's like, oh, I got an idea, and I start to work on it and build it. That's summer. And then we have fall, which is really like, satisfaction, the completion of something, and we start to dismantle it a little bit. And then winter is that time of stillness, of quiet, of going inwards to listen, to rest, replenish our energy, so that when the next spark comes, when that next spark of life or idea or season changes, we have the energy to go again. But if we're pushing, often we're like, make the plan and then follow it, versus sitting and waiting for the true inspiration. So if we're coming often from our head versus our inner intuition, or we say more of that yin energy, that feminine energy, not about men or women, we all have this, but that's just some of the ways it's phrased, where it's that deep, unconscious, internal, where we sit. Winter is very much that yin season. We sit and the fields are fallow. We wait. And then the spark comes. And if we don't listen, that's often when we burn ourselves out. If we're pushing the river, essentially, if we're pushing against what's naturally wanted from us, we will burn ourselves out. It's like trying to grow a crop in the winter, and you're planting a seed and you're like, where is it? Where is it? It doesn't have time to grow. It just needs to be for a while. Or it can be like we're in summer and it gets to be fall, where the trees will reassess, like what's the best use of my energy? Is it keeping these leaves going all year round, or are we pulling the energy, that sap, inwards and downwards to what's most important and precious, and those leaves will dry up and fall off? Amazing thing is those leaves, it's not that they're gone and nothing good will ever come from them again. They're actually composted. They are used and broken down into soil for the next season. And so that's how it often works with us as well. And so energetically, if you're cycling, a woman, you're still in that perimenopausal phase and you're having a cycle, the different phases, winter phase is menstruation. When you go towards ovulation, that's more of that spring energy. And then you sort of that fall stage is at the end of your cycle again. And so that you can do different things at this different stages. When it's more of that yin time, that more winter time, you want to be more still, more quiet, more introspective. When you hit that summertime, get out there, see people. So I noticed this when I was cycling a lot. I noticed there are times I was very social, got lots of ideas, creative, and other times where it's like, I just want to clean up my drawers. I just want to like clean up my house. And that would be more of that winter, taking care of stuff. When we look at life cycles, menopause is fall. It's a time when we are shedding what is no longer working, when we're pulling our energy inwards, and to be a little more reflective, to take stock a little bit so that and then we need a little bit of rest in winter. And then we call menopause the second spring in Eastern medicine. When it's time for this rebirth, we are not carrying all this extra baggage that isn't ours, that isn't working, isn't in alignment, and is basically dragging us down. So hopefully that makes sense. And just that in that normalizing that if you're in a stage of life where you're feeling like you want to go inwards, where you want to be a little bit more quiet, a little more introspective, this is normal and you can trust it. I think some of the biggest work that I do with women is helping them learn to trust themselves again. Our bodies are so wise and they're talking all the time. We just need to really understand what they're saying and then honor them. Because when we do that, we're going to have more vitality, more energy. We're going to be happier. We're not going to be irritated because we're doing something we don't want to do, or we're around people and we really want to be home with a good book and a cup of tea. That's me a lot of the times. Certainly last summer, that was me. So hopefully that helps you. I'd love to hear if this is something that resonates or it's something you're doing in your life. You can comment. Please let me know how it goes for you and what works for you. If you want more like this, please hit subscribe. My name is Angela Warburton. I am an Eastern medicine practitioner. I am a woman. I am a woman postmenopausal, and I'm here to give you the science and the soul of menopause, really giving you practical tips to understand your body, but also bring back that intuitive nature and really transform and transition through this time with more ease, with more grace, with more inner wisdom, and really bringing back that soulful side of menopause because there's a lot of wisdom here. And on the other side is what I call your radiant life. So thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.